Well, Karin joined us once again. You had a chance of a lifetime this week. You took quite an airplane ride.
It was quite a flight. And it wasn't just experiencing the flight of a lifetime, but it was also a piece of history. And this wasn't just any old story for me. It's a story that's also very personal for me. My great uncle, who is now in his early 90s, he flew a B-17 in World War II as well. And his plane ended up going down over Germany back on July 28, 1943, when he was taken prisoner of war. And because of his connection to the B-17, this became a very special flight for me. For many, the B-17, also called the Flying Fortress, is a symbol of American power from World War II. It was a workhorse in the European theater of the war, flying thousands of missions. Some historians say that this aircraft helped win the war by turning the tide against Germany. For close to a decade, the Boeing Aircraft Company mass-produced over 12,000 B-17s. 4,735 of those bombers were lost during World War II combat missions. When the war was over, thousands more were destroyed for scrap. Today, there are only 12 flyable B-17s remaining. The aluminum Overcast is one of those remaining bombers. It is owned by the EAA and is touring Wisconsin as a piece of history in flight. On my flight in the aluminum Overcast, I met Doug Holt, who flew 35 missions, first as the co-pilot and later as the pilot of a B-17 from July 1944 to November 1944.
I ended up at age 19 as a co-pilot flying in a B-17 with only 4 weeks of combat crew training.
Doug's most memorable mission with the 381st Bomb Group was on September 11th, 1944.
We went to Merseburg. It was a synthetic fuel plant deep in Germany. And at least one shell went off right in front of us and tore through the entire airplane. Pieces, we had number 1 on fire, number 2 and number 3 were damaged. We had a fire in the electrical equipment on board the airplane, the nose, the radio room. We dropped out of the formation and we were really defenseless because none of our turrets were going to work.
A pair of P-51s dropped out of a major air battle above and escorted Doug's plane back to the American lines.
We flew the rest of the way back to the base and we made a crash landing. We all walked away from it.
The Flying Fortress became known for its ability to get its crew home safely, even after severe punishment from combat. The plane Doug piloted was known as Lucky Dog.
It was a lot of luck. We did a lot of things the right way in the few split seconds we had, but it was still luck. When the airplane alongside of you takes a direct hit and the shell doesn't hit you, that's luck. There is no other reason for it.
For today's flight aboard the aluminum Overcast, he will enjoy returning to the skies in the restored B-17 as a passenger. The aluminum Overcast, built in May of 1945, was slated to be scrapped when a company bought it and put it into service as a civilian aircraft.
It's been a camera ship, it's been a cargo ship, it's been a bug sprayer, it's been a fire bomber, and now it's something obviously very much more special to us.
15 years of restoration and thousands of hours of work have made the aluminum Overcast what it is today. Improvements are continuously made, but the inside is completely original, with the exception of just a few modern navigation pieces.
Well, this aircraft is marked in the 398th Bomb Group markings. It's marked like an airplane that was shot down in December of '44, and that aircraft, this aircraft here, obviously is set up just like you would have seen them in World War II. It's a beautiful representation of exactly how they would have been back then, and it's truly an artifact that people can come and see and experience exactly what the crews were seeing back then.
As one of only a few remaining flyable B-17s, this aircraft serves as a reminder of our veterans' contributions.
This airplane is here so that we can bring it to folks and show them the contribution that the folks in World War II made, the sacrifices they made, the history that was involved, the history that is involved with that, and obviously it's kind of being taught less and less in schools and whatnot, so we're hoping to kind of keep that alive.
Well, you see old film like that from World War II with the you know, the wings half off and all that, and my goodness, that's why they call them the greatest generation.
Yeah, and researching this, all of the pictures on the internet of engines lost on these planes or pieces of them that were lost, and they still made it back home safely. They really were just a tough aircraft.
And you just mentioned your uncle just received a piece of his plane that crashed in Germany.
Someone in Germany dug up his airplane. Someone was researching a book on it, dug up his airplane, and sent him a piece of his airplane that had crashed over Germany. So he's got a piece of it forever now.
Wow. Good story. Thank you, Karin.
You're welcome.
Right. And the EAA, by the way, is offering flights on this plane and ground tours of the restored B-17, aluminum overcast, today through Sunday at the Dane County Regional Airport. And for more information, you can go to b17.org. And next week, that plane will tour the EAA Air Venture up in Oshkosh, because that's starting. I imagine you'll be going to the EAA as well then.
I don't get to this year.
Oh, you don't because
not supposed to travel that much
that's
anymore.
Right.
So this will be my 1 year I get to miss out. I have to miss out.
Next year.
The rest of my family will have fun for me.
All right. Thanks. All right, coming up, sweet sounds from Garner Park in Madison. It's coming tomorrow night. Not many people out there now, but wait till tomorrow. It's the Opera in the Park. We'll preview that coming up.